Hi everybody, I'm Krabby Game Guy. Welcome to episode 54 of our XCOM2 War of the Chosen playthrough. This is the epilogue episode that kind of sums up how the campaign went. We'll run through the stats and review how things went down. As you know, this is the first campaign I've played at commander level, and I gotta say that it might be the most fun campaign I have ever played. And I've played a lot of XCOM campaigns over the last 10 years or so, and this was by far the most challenging and, as a result, the most fun. I played my first YouTube season on veteran level, and at the commander level there were notable differences, and in this video we'll try to compare the two levels just to see how difficult it is to make the jump from one level to another. I think the best way to do this review is to look at the statistics, and I'll be comparing them to my first season stats, which also ended in a victory, but at veteran level. So we could do a pretty fair comparison between the two levels. First and foremost, end date. I don't pay much attention to the campaign end date, but for what it's worth, we ended up about a month earlier on this campaign than we did on season 1. Which is not unusual. This campaign went really quickly, and I'm not quite sure if it's something I did to make it go faster, but we'll explore that as we continue. Let's start with battlefield tactics. It's what everybody focuses it on. It's what everybody watches. It's what everybody's into. And if you base the success of your battlefield tactics on missions you've won and lost, soldiers wounded and killed, we were 53-0 in mission wins, so I don't know though that I can argue with the success of the campaign if you're going to look at it that way. We did have to skip one mission because it was a low-profile mission late in the game, and we had no soldiers ranked at sergeant or below, so we just passed on that mission. And surprisingly, it didn't show up as a loss. I thought it might, but it did not. So. Anyway, a good record, and all in all, a good campaign. We had 20 flawless missions. That's 5 more than last season. There were 3 ambush missions that ended up being flawless, but I gotta say, having a personal best with 20 flawless missions on your first commander level campaign, I'll take that. I'm very pleased and proud of that one. I thought that really worked out nicely. I don't obsess over flawless missions, but it's something that everybody tries to do. It's a good way to kind of measure your success and how well you're doing overall. Fewer aliens were killed. That was a little surprising, but again, like I said, it was a very short campaign by comparison. I think that had something to do with it. Also, we did several Reaper solo missions where typically you would kill 8 to 10 enemies, and because we did Reaper solo missions, we didn't kill anybody on those missions. We got in, destroyed the facility, and got out, didn't kill anybody. So that's probably 30 kills right there that we probably missed out on. I know the stat says 3, but I went back and checked. I got it right here. There was only 1 soldier lost during the campaign, and that was a rookie very early on in the game. I think it was the 4th episode, maybe. I've seen other YouTubers have the same issue where, report 9 deaths in a campaign, and they only had 1 or 2. For some reason, this stat is a little bit wacky, so I'll stick with my 1, and I'll lay claim to 1, and I thought that was pretty decent. Shot percentage was on par, which is kind of, I figured it would be a lot lower going up to a higher level. Thought the RNG would be tougher at the commander level, but I also think I made better choices at selecting shots. I would run through all of the options before just aiming and shooting, which I did a lot of in my first campaign. So I think it's a combination of the RNG not being all that much more difficult and me making better shot selection. I think it was a combination of the both. Even though there were a couple of missions where they caused some injuries, the Chosen really weren't a major problem as the campaign was concerned. We got the Hunter really early, 154 days, which gave us his weapons, and that just made our success against the other 2 Chosen that much greater. If you can get either the Assassin or the Hunter weapons early, that just makes the game so much easier. So none of the Chosen really gave us too much of a problem. They also did not gain enough knowledge to launch an Avenger defense mission. I don't remember ever doing a campaign where I didn't have at least one or two Avenger defenses that were launched by a Chosen. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't miss them at all either. That was something I was very grateful for. We'll move on to faction heroes. Reapers. You're going to get an option at some point in the game to pick up a second Reaper. That might be the most important covert mission that you get offered during a game. Having 2 Reapers, as far as I'm concerned, is a must. You need to have a Reaper available for every mission. Even if you don't use them, you want them available and have that as an option. This is the best Reaper campaign I've ever had. And Reaper Rod, he did a fantastic job, and as a result, he gets the honor of joining my character pool. So congratulations to Reaper Rod. He's the only one to make it to the character pool. I'm very stingy with additions to the character pool, and I think I only have 4 members now. So Reaper Rod joins that elite group. Congratulations. Templars. Blog height did fine. It's just that if a Templar doesn't get the Bladestorm XCOM specialization upgrade at some point during the game, they're simply not going to be as deadly as they need to be late in the campaign. They're of a far lot lesser value on late and end game missions. If you can get a Templar with Bladestorm, they go from being a good soldier to almost a super soldier. So if you get Bladestorm, use the crap out of your Templars at the end game. If you don't, it might be better to go with a second Reaper or a psi-op or something like that. So unfortunately we just did not get that option, and that's 2 in a row now that I haven't gotten it. So I'm looking forward to getting it next time, because I do love a Templar with Bladestorm. As far as skirmishers are concerned, I didn't use the skirmisher very much. They perform well when I did call upon them, but when you have 2 Reapers and you manage their health efficiently, there's always going to be one available, and I would rather have a Reaper on a mission than a skirmisher, and there's just really no room for the skirmisher, and that's fewer missions, for that class. So anyway, that's kind of how that went down. It's not that I don't like the skirmisher, just couldn't find room for them on missions. While we're looking at soldier classes, let's look at each class and quickly evaluate the performance of each class. Rangers, we had 3 deep, all solid, none of them really outstanding. Since we were a little bit deeper at Ranger, we went with a 2 Ranger strategy for most of the mid-game until the Spark and the psi-ops joined the squad. And then we were able to go with 1 Ranger and then just rotate the 3 out and keep 1 healthy, and that really did make a big difference in the late and end game. Specialist, I was a little risky. We ran with 2 specialists during the campaign. I'd like to have 3 because they do tend to get injured, but fortunately both of ours stayed very healthy and recovered quickly, so 2 was plenty for this campaign. Grenadiers, same as specialists. We went 2 deep the entire campaign, no issues. It took them a while to get to a colonel level, but even the majors performed very well. The use of frost bombs and EMP grenades in the mid to late game made an enormous difference in our success on some of those missions. Sharpshooters. Sharpshooters are typically the star of the show, especially towards the late game. We went with 2. We used a low-ranking 3rd option a couple of times when we had some injuries and some tireds. Everybody performed superbly. If you get a sharpshooter and you're able to equip them with the PCS that improves their aim, and they have squad side, obviously. If you get the hunter's weapons, and we got them early, sharpshooters can quickly dramatically change the balance of power in the game. It all of a sudden starts getting a whole lot easier, especially if you start getting multiple pods or you're battling a horde of the lost. A sharpshooter that's buffed up can make things a whole lot easier. Psi-ops, We had 2 fully trained Magi, and it's all I ever needed. And both were invaluable through the mid to late game, particularly in the final assault mission. Psi-ops, again, in my opinion, level the playing field more quickly than any other class. They're downright lethal against organic enemies, and if you give them blue screen rounds, they're equally as deadly to mechanical enemies. They have so many incredible powers that they can do major damage to enemies, as well as powers that improve the will of your own soldiers. They take a long time to train, but it's worth it. Have at least 2 psi-ops on your squad. They are by far the most important soldier on your roster at the end of the game. Sparks. We had 1 Spark. We promoted him up to the next highest level. Didn't get all the way up, but he was extremely valuable, especially in the mid-game where injuries were high, or I was trying to save soldiers for future key missions like Avenger Defense missions or black site missions or that sort of thing. So yeah, having a Spark and keeping him healthy and having him fully equipped where he's got actual decent aim if you upgrade his weapon correctly and give him good armor, he's going to be a valuable addition to any squad. Global ability points were down by a whopping 50%. This is probably the biggest game mechanic difference I saw between Veteran and Commander. Can't really tell you why. This campaign was a little bit shorter, but the game didn't give as many ability points as it does at a lower level. So it's something to be aware of and something to watch for in at Commander and other levels, as well as to how many ability points you're giving. And so you have to be very, very careful about what abilities you purchase, because you just don't have the ability to buy everything at Commander level. Only 26 soldiers saw action. That's down 10 from my previous campaign. It turned out to be a robust squad that had a good A level, a good B level, and a very, very manageable C level group of soldiers. I don't recall getting any rookies. I may have gotten 1 or 2, but I typically get 2 or 4 in the beginning of a campaign, but I don't remember ever going back. If I did and I don't remember it, by all means leave me a comment and remind me that I did it, but I don't think I did. Promotions were down 15% overall, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it really is. It's probably a byproduct of moving up to Commander level and the RNG not being as generous with promotions. But we did get our first Colonel 49 days sooner than we did in our last mission, which was kind of weird, but very significant. We ended up with only half as many Colonels as we did in our last campaign, but getting them sooner made a big difference. And once you have a team with full of Colonels, that's pretty much all you really need. Total days wounded, I was really pleased with this. I had 211 days wounded last campaign at Veteran. I went down to 150 days wounded on Commander, which I thought was significant. I made a concentrated effort to keep soldiers in full cover as much as possible, and I really do think that made all the difference in the world. These stats are great at the end of the game, but one thing they don't address is Avenger Construction. I have a very specific layout that I like to work with, and I was really concerned that it wouldn't translate from Veteran to Commander. It all centers around the building of a workshop and then placing engineer critical rooms adjacent to that workshop that allows you to build and manage facilities much quicker and much more efficiently. I'm still confident in this strategy. We never ran into any significant problems for rooms or staff, and we ended up with 9 engineers and 9 scientists, so I think that strategy, I'm going to stick with it until it starts to fail me. R&D, we took a little longer to develop magnetic weapons, but beam weapons came very shortly after the mag weapons, so we were able to catch up pretty quick. We focused heavily on armor. Plated armor was earned 12 days earlier. Powered armor was earned 23 days earlier than my previous campaign. It's almost a whole month's worth of powered armor, and that makes a huge difference. The Proving Ground stayed busy. Major projects were completed in plenty of time. There was really nothing out of the Proving Ground that I didn't get that I wanted. So I was very pleased with how we managed that. And more specifically, I was really pleased with the powered armor, the war suit, exosuit, even the Wraith suit over a spider suit, I thought was really good. And the powered weapons. I used to spend a lot of time on experimental ammo for some reason, and now I am realizing that powered weapons are far more important than experimental ammo. They do tremendous amount of damage to multiple targets. So yeah, I'm sticking with the power weapon thing from now on, and I'm kind of abandoning the experimental ammo for now. One thing that the stats don't address at all is alien rulers. This, to me, was the most confounding part of this whole campaign. We saw the Viper King twice and avoided him on one of the Solar Reaper missions. Reaper went right by him. He was seen, but he got out and evac'd before the Viper King could make a move. So we really only saw him once. He was there twice, but we only dealt with him once. We saw the Archon King once, and we dealt with him. He did some damage to us. The Berserker Queen, I had to force myself to go on a mission to face the Berserker Queen at the end of the campaign, just to see if I could get her defeated in one attempt. She's a 60-point enemy. There was no way it was going to happen, but I figured I'd give it a try. And as a result, I never got any of their armor, but it ended up really not making that much of a difference. There were instances where I would have liked to have had a few of the powers that the armor gives to soldiers, but I honestly did not miss it as much as I thought it would be. I was very concerned about that, but it didn't really make that much of a difference. I think maybe the Solo Reaper missions might have messed with the mechanics of the Alien Ruler appearances, but that's just speculation on my part. That's pretty much the review for this campaign. Let's talk now about Season 3. What am I going to do for Season 3? I would love to think that I could just hop up to Legend level and handle it with the same level of success as Commander, but I think that's unrealistic. I've got a few weeks off in between seasons, and I will be practicing on Legend level and see if I can figure out what it is that I really need to improve and how I should go about executing missions. And if I can figure that out and we can make a go of it, then that's what we'll do for Season 3. We will move up to Legend level. It would be my first campaign at Legend, and so you get to watch me suffer through that. So keep your fingers crossed. That's what I'm going to try to do, but my gut's telling me that the jump to Legend is far more aggressive than moving from Veteran to Commander. Feel free to leave a comment suggesting what you'd like to see. If you'd like to see me go up to Legend, that's great. If you want to see another Commander level mission or campaign, by all means, leave a comment and let me know what you want to see. Finally, if you're an XCOM fan and player like I was, and you're getting bored with Veteran level, success at the Commander level is well within your reach. Don't think it's not. For literally years, I thought, oh, I'll never be able to do that. I can't. This is as far as I'm gonna get. I stuck with it, changed my tactics a little bit, figured out what was important in the game, and honestly, the Commander level came to me a lot easier than I thought it would. Another thing to remember is the decisions you make on the battlefield are important, and I know everybody focuses on that and hyper focuses on it, but the decisions you make on the battlefield are not more important than the ones you make while you're on the Avenger. What you achieve by being smart when it comes to construction, research, engineering, squad management above all things, they directly influence your success in combat. If you don't focus on the things to make your soldiers more skilled and powerful in a timely fashion, and then help them recover their health and will quickly, all of the tactical battlefield prowess in the world is not going to be enough to translate into you mastering the game. Don't focus so much on the AO that you are ignoring the long-term strategy of this game, because in the end, that really is what it's all about. That's the advice I have to give you. Watch my 2 playthroughs, and I think you'll be able to figure out the changes that I made that helped me get through this level as quickly as I did. When you do playthroughs for YouTube, it's significantly more complicated than playing for fun in your spare time. You want to play well. You want to make sure that it's watchable for people. You want to make sure that you're doing missions in a timely fashion so you can produce episodes. And then there's this whole post-production thing, which can be extremely time-consuming. I put a lot of effort into it because I really, really enjoy that part of what I do. I take a lot of pride in presenting a series that's fun and easy to watch, and I hope we can both learn something from. I've learned a lot from this season for sure, and I hope you've enjoyed it and maybe picked up a tip or 2 from me along the way. At this point, I want to thank everyone who watched these last 2 seasons. I want to thank my handful of subscribers for supporting me along the way. The comments, I wish I got more, because I really do like to engage with people and talk about the game, because I really, really enjoy it. I know there's a lot of you out there who do, and I'd love to talk with you more about the game and compare strategies and just in general talk about the game. But that'll be a wrap for this second season. As always, if you like this episode, please leave us a like, and if you'd like to subscribe, by all means, click on the subscribe button and the notification bell, and we'll let you know when Season 3 starts. In the meantime, I'm Krabby Game Guy, and I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.